you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every step I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner.
Okay. Well, my name is Sylvia Martinez, and I'm an assistant professor at Indiana University in the School of Education and in Latino Studies. And my research focuses on the educational experiences of Latino youth, particularly high school students.
What's your opinion about the No Child Left Behind? Are there any strengths or weaknesses that you have seen while conducting your research?
Well, I don't specifically focus on No Child Left Behind, but we do cover it in a lot of the courses that I teach here at IU. And I would say some of the strengths that on paper or in theory, the legislation is good. I mean, who doesn't want everyone to be performing at a certain standard? And certainly we want all our students to perform at a certain level or to graduate high school, whatever that goal may be. And certainly we want everyone doing well. But I think some of the weaknesses are that we have become so focused on this test and having our kids pass this test that school may not be very fun these days for kids. So we know, for example, a lot of schools are getting rid of recess or PE or social studies, music, art, partly because of funding issues, but also because your standardized tests don't look at social studies, and we're not interested in those, in that type of performance. We're interested in math and science and reading. So that's what we're focusing on, math and science and reading. So I think school has become a little bit mundane. Teachers, I know, complain a lot about having to teach to the test and focusing on these standards, that kids, again, are not having a good time learning. And certainly school is not always fun, and it shouldn't always be fun, but it's just, I think it's become very routine and very structured and rigid. And, sometimes kids need to play, right, or do crafts and things like that.
So, having the overview about our model, what are your suggestions, or do you see this as a possibility that can happen in the future, or tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I like that you're focusing on Latino students and focusing on your English language learners. My feeling is that the state of Latinos and education in this country is in crisis mode. Latinos have the highest high school dropout rate. Latinos aren't going on to college and not graduating from college in the same numbers. So it is something we need to start paying attention to, because Latinos are the fastest growing minority group in this country, or population group in this country. So I like that you guys are focusing on that population. Like I said, we're in crisis mode. And I like that you are tackling this idea that ESL students are segregated within schools. So a lot of literature talks about how we do a disservice to our ESL students, or English language learners, by separating them into that ESL track, and essentially you're segregating them from their peers. And they can learn a lot from their peers. They could actually pick up English language from their peers, right? Their English-speaking peers. But what schools do is you separate them, and that's not always a good thing. So I like that you are trying to tackle that by making sure that they have time with their peers. However, there's still that ESL track.
Okay, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Carlos. I go to Indiana University, School of Mathematics. 23 years old.
In high school, were you part of the ESL program, English as a Second Language?
Yes, I was.
And can you tell me a little bit about your experience about that? How did you feel, or anything that relates to that?
It was kind of a tough experience, I guess, because kind of felt kind of segregated because I was just in that own little room taking classes. Most of my classes were in the ESL. I had 3 class periods in ESL, and they tried to mix me with other classes, but it was kind of tough. So
And what grade was this at?
started 8th grade. So I
Eighth
started
grade.
in 8th grade and through 2 or 3 years in high school.
Okay, so having the No Child Left Behind Act, do you think that if you were to take the exams, you would pass them, or do you think it would be difficult?
It would be difficult at the beginning for anybody that's barely learning a second language. I mean, it's kind of tough to pass any English test, I would say, because first they don't know the language and they might or not might know the material. So
I first came to the U.S. when I was 3 years old. I think we were in San Diego for about 3 years. That was for my mom's studies. The pivotal point, I would say, is when I was 5 years old. My mom decided to come to IU to pursue her master's degree. And since I was only 5, my mom decided to bring me along with her. And I came to Bloomington in July before my kindergarten year started. So it was perfect timing. I enrolled in a local school called University Elementary and went there for kindergarten and first grade.
What sort of process did you go through for learning English?
I think it was just perfect timing because in kindergarten that's when you learn, well then, I don't know about now, but when you start learning your ABCs and your colors and your numbers and your shapes. But I think it was really helpful that it started off with the basics and we were all on the same level like all the kids and, you know. It helped because University Elementary is, their school district is around the IU campus. So a lot of the foreign grad students' children go to university, so it's very, very diverse still. So there are about 2 other Japanese girls and a few other like Korean or